has been sacked. Today, South's coach George Piggins claimed that Ian Roberts had not only signed with rival club Manly, but he'd tried to take other South Sydney youngsters with him. In an exclusive interview with 10, Roberts hotly denies the charges.
The New South Wales League will next year enforce a $1.5 million salary cap on all clubs. Piggins fears it won't stop greedy managers or rich clubs from dominating the game and forcing poorer clubs into oblivion.
I don't see how the public can honestly expect the individual, being the footballer, to make a solitary stand and say, well, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I'll play here for X amount of dollars less than I will there. I mean, the player's got two points to look at. He's got to be happy and he's got to be financially stable. So, I mean, it comes down to the player and what's it worth to stay at that club.
The problem at Souths arose when Ian Roberts' managers presented the club with a contract it simply could not afford, a contract Souths officials thought ridiculous. But Manly was prepared to pay the money. Souths coach George Piggins not only resented this, but feared that Roberts would lure other young players away.
What's happened is a young kid in the club's come and asked me for a bit of advice, if I could help him. And I put him onto a fellow who looks after my affairs, and that's all I've done.
For coach George Piggins, such talk was a cancer in the club. He felt under the circumstances Roberts should leave.
When you put all that much work in, and you get a kid of Ian Roberts' capability, and to see a club, you know, someone come along and just take away a dream, which I believe that there's a dream there, we possibly could take it out. Well, you know, you feel like you're in the backside of it, quite honest. Well, we couldn't afford to lose the nursery of South Sydney, you know, to the clubs that were trying to get them.
One thing both parties agree is that this is a test case. The salary cap may only partially solve the growing conflict between managers, players and rival club officials. Bill Woods, 10 News.
A layoff of nearly 6 weeks hasn't reduced Ian Roberts' standing as the game's hottest heavyweight. The 24-year-old front rower runs hard and hits even harder. But according to coach George Piggins, he won't be doing it for Souths next year.
I said, Ian, have you signed for somebody else yet? And he said, yes, I have.
If Roberts has signed, it'll be one round of a fight Piggins intends to win. The Rabbitohs have come from 9th last year to premiership favourites. His team sheet of nobodies now a shopping list for the wealthy clubs.
6 weeks ago, no one knew who they were. No one wanted to buy them. We've exposed them. Now everyone wants them.
Just how other clubs go about reaping that crop Souths have grown so carefully is where the Roberts issue becomes clouded. Piggins claims Roberts is being used as a go-between, talking to young players about their plans for next year. Jim Sedaris and Mark Lyons are typical of South's rising stars and likely targets for the scouts.
You see someone like Manly come in and take Ian, that's bad enough, but when they kind of got a Trojan horse inside, negotiating with other players to come and meet with them, and even as late as last night, they were trying to set up deals to meet some of our players.
While he was unavailable for comment today, Roberts' manager John Lewis says he hasn't signed a contract and has had nothing to do with any dealings with South's players. The South Sydney board will meet tomorrow night to discuss any action they might.
Most certain he will leave South Sydney, but until he does, it'll be a long, lonely winter.
It'll be a heaven sent if Souths will win the premiership this year. It's just a fairy tale.
He's a terrific young bloke.
That is the biggest hurt for Ian Roberts. No one has ever disputed he's a good bloke. Bill Woods.
State of Origin finale in Brizzy. There's a nice old barney going on at Souths over the future of star prop Ian Roberts. Coach George Piggins says Roberts has admitted signing with Manly for $250,000 a season, and he wants him sacked.
Roberts' future with Souths was thrown open by a phone call from George Piggins yesterday.
I said, you've always told me the truth in the past. I says, can you tell me if you've signed with anyone yet? And he said, yes, I have.
The deal with Manly, claims Piggins, is massive, worth, he says, some $500,000 over 2 years.
If it was my son, I'd be driving him across to get it. You know, I don't blame him one little bit.
What has split the close friends are allegations denied by Roberts that he may be enticing others to leave with him.
I can't take the odds that this was going to blow up. You know, if Ian gave us an undergoing that it wouldn't happen again, I'm sure the secretary and the board would look at it.
Sidelined with a groin injury, Roberts denies he is a risk to South or that he has even signed with Manly. He doesn't deny the offer, though, something which has Piggins furious in itself.
We get out amongst our juniors and we find these kids ourselves. But it's darn crook when someone like Manly comes along and